Check out this exclusive interview at the G-List Society with your host, Wadey G, right now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Wadey G with the G-List Society, and I have a very special guest on the line with me. We're going to talk about his brand new album, Where's Vivian? It should actually say Where's LastO, because, man, I mean, in my opinion, and probably it's the only opinion that counts, he's the greatest rapper we have in the LGBT community. I know I like several of them, but I'm very ecstatic to be having him on the line because we're going to talk about this brand new album that we all been waiting on. But he's a New York MC. He's, one of the most popular rappers in the game out right now, and I just want to say welcome, LastO.
Thank you, Wadey. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and so now that we're talking about, all this inspiration that came to Vivian, let's talk about it. Vivian's going to be out. Right, because, man, October 22nd, first of all, is the date, and it's going to be on every online purchasing platform, basically, iTunes, Amazon, and stuff.
Yeah, iTunes, Amazon, everywhere else.
Perfect. Now, besides, your growth from your last few, definitely from the not-for-profit, but you also released songs since then, here and there, giving us teasers, because I kept saying, man, if he teased me with one more song and no album coming out, let me hold on, scratch that part, first of all. As we're getting into Where's Vivian, I've heard a couple of interviews you've done before, and they share the same sentiments as I do, which, of course, we get it from the streets. How do you feel about how after, I know you probably purchased yourself for, when you're going to get this music out, blah, 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 but we as a community, as hip-hop listeners, we were still there waiting for you. How do you feel, because, most people don't get that kind of chance. How do you feel that knowing that this album is finally about to come out, you're doing your rounds of interviews, and everybody is so happy that LastO, finally or not finally, is putting out an album now?
I mean, I can't feel nuts, but, ecstatic about it, to be honest. I mean, there was points when I was like, fuck. I mean, there was points even recording Vivian when I was like, is this ever going to be done? Am I ever going to be finished? I stopped being able to see myself releasing a finished product. That's how long it was.
Right, because I know you had some setbacks, with producers and, situations, label situations and stuff, But did you ever think that while going through this recording process and at the same time going through those setbacks, were you ever worried about fans in the community with everybody else who's come in the game feel like, maybe I got to prove myself all over again. Maybe they're not checking for me anymore. Did you ever feel that?
Well, the thing that I always, and people would tell me that. People definitely would say that to me. Like Derrick Briggs, Lord Jesus, he tell me every day. During the whole, process, it's taking you longer with this. I mean, you might as well wrap it up, But I think that the thing that always kept me grounded and in my place and, with my eye on the prize is that, number one, I'm a brand new artist. You know what I mean? There's definitely some people who have rolled with me from the beginning up until now, and I appreciate y'all, and I love the fuck out of y'all. But on a grander scale, looking at it from the outside in, from the outside world into this, I'm a brand new artist. And
I feel you.
And more so than that, as a brand new artist, you're introducing yourself. So you want to put your best foot forward. So there was never in my mind a feeling like, oh, you need to hurry up and put something out, or else they're going to forget. Because the thing about it is most people don't know. and I want this first impression to be great. That's what I wanted.
So with that impression, what do you want people to get out of listening to Where's Vivian? As for, you know what I mean?
When I approach it from like a fan's perspective, I knew that for me, what I was getting tired of with regard to rap was seeing all these huge stars coming off one way on the records and being completely different people. In interviews or, stories will come out or whatever. And I think that, the whole concept and question being posed by Where's Vivian is, where's the real thing? And I think that's what I wanted to do on the album. I wanted to give the real thing to people who wanted it. I mean, some people go up for that, fake shit, the cartoony characters and all that kind of shit, and that's fine, and that's dandy, you know what I mean? Art exists out there so that we can appreciate it, so, there's different types of art. But for the people who wanted that honesty, I wanted to give that to them. And so that's why, like, on Vivian, you hear me talking about love. I ain't never talked about love before. Of course, I never was truly in love, before either. So, but...
Well, I mean, I definitely get that, because that's what I said. To keep saying is, if you really want to know who LastO is, you got to listen to this album, especially tracks Barcelon and Five Finger Discount. I mean, because first of all, Five Finger Discount, like, I think that's gonna be my new anthem. Cause I guess that's why you and I vibe so well and stuff like that. Cause I know I'm probably more outgoing than you are. I feel like sometimes I have to be more outgoing anyways. But deep down inside, I think who I am deep down inside is a lot like who you are. And when I had to listen to those two songs in particular like 3 or 4 times, cause I'm that guy. Like, first I get into the beat and how the rapper flows and stuff, and then I might hear certain things that he says, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, okay, I'm feeling this. Let me go back and now listen to it. Now I heard it. Now I need to listen. And those two songs, I said, okay, this is LastO I know, even though I haven't seen him in a few years. I feel like I know him right now, I mean, what's it like to, as a rapper and somebody who knows you socially where, you do seem like a guarded brother. And, I mean, to me, that's not bad at all because, especially living in a city like New York, it probably is an advantage. But how did you get to just, unleash and just let those walls come down and let everybody know who you are, especially in those two songs?
Because I finally got to a point where I just let go. I don't give a fuck. I spent so much time trying to figure out what it was that people wanted. You know what I mean?
Right.
Looking at things strategically. Because I didn't have no management. I had some people come in and out of my life and kind of try and give me pointers and so on and so forth. But a lot of the strategy, a lot of the figuring this whole LastO thing out was just me trying to strategize, like what's the best way, what's going to get you the most fans and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, it's like that was the wrong question. And then I finally landed on the right question, which is, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? And that was when it just clicked. And that's when the album started flowing. And that's when it became Where's Vivian, because everything I had been recording before that point was Charm or Red Label or some other incarnation that never, came to fruition. But once that switch went off, that was it.
And you just went into beast mode because, your music has been great before this album, but I say this takes it up to a whole nother level. I know I always hear one thing I kind of don't like when it comes to musicians, especially the independent ones, and then even taking it all the way down to in the LGBT community. One of the good ones is like we always got to compare you to someone that's good or great just because it gives everybody else an idea who may not have heard you. Like, for example, for those who don't know, haven't heard about LastO, we say, oh, well, he's like the Jay-Z of the gay rappers. And I said, well, I mean, what do you mean by Jay-Z? The greatest? Because for me, Jay-Z, he's one of the greats, but I wouldn't say he's the greatest in my opinion. But I would say, probably in that level where LastO songs could compete with mainstream rap. I mean, that's how I would do that Jay-Z comparison. But, if I had to compare you to somebody, it would be him. But I say you really stand out on your own. And what's even just as impressive is I put up a Facebook status about a few days ago when the night of the BET Hip Hop Awards, and I was watching.
Oh yeah.
I was watching people perform their songs, and I noticed something. I said, the one thing I do not like in today's rap music is you can no longer hear a rapper rap an entire song by himself. And there's always all these guest features, and I wonder what they do when there's no guest feature, when they're doing a show by themselves. What do they do? Just rap their verse, then move on to the next song, rap their verse. What I really like about Where's Vivian is you've kept the guest features basically minimally. And then definitely. In particular, one rapper I haven't heard of in a long time was Twizz. And I found out Twizz was in retirement. I said, what?
Yeah.
So I feel like, two dudes who've been in hiding for a long time come together for a banger, because I love Travel Plans. I love it. Yeah, that's a nice little, fun storytelling type song and stuff like that. First of all, how did you even get Twizz to come out and just say, hey, yeah, I'm a rap again?
Well, Twizz is my, ace, boom, boom in this rap shit. I mean, that's somebody who I met through rap, but we're not just rap buddies. That's my straight up friend. You know what I mean? And yeah, he did retire, and I wasn't too happy about that, and I'm sure a lot of other people wasn't too happy about it. But men have to, make men's decisions. But I ended up, roping him in to executive produce Where's Vivian, as sort of co-executive producer with me, and so he became instrumental in the completion of the project. And even then, I still wasn't sure if I was going to get a verse out of it until I wrote Travel Plans. When I wrote that song, I knew it was like his song. It was like I was writing a song for him. You know what I mean? And I knew when I sent it to him that he wouldn't be able to resist that shit. And I was right. And so I got the verse up out of him. He came up from North Carolina and recorded his verse. And once I had that baby on the hard drive, I was like, yes. Because, as long as I've known Twizz, I've been trying to do song after song with him. We did some songs, we recorded some stuff, but none of it ever got released. And this is finally a song that we did, that I love, that he loved, that got released.
It's dope. And then also, I know you got another collab with Sony Cobain called Dream Wild. And I know, and with that song too, it actually, that's one of those songs that says, hey, this is, if you want to know who LastO is, get to know him on there, because, you do talk about yourself in it, but I feel like it's also somewhat of a, I don't want to say preachy as it is bad. Yeah, it's universal. People can really learn from it, or it's like one of those, what do you call it, inspirational songs. Not to limit yourself, and whatever it is that you like, go for it. And All of those things. And I say, and, you know, I keep telling you beforehand, and as I'm saying throughout this interview, it's a dope album. What is it, like 17 songs on the track, and I was trying to find a problem with it. You know what I mean? I was just like, dang, because even when you open it up with Bitches Be Like, and I know you was like, as we were talking earlier about the expectations people had of you, like, dude, when, is he ever going to put out an album? Well, shoot, is it even going to be any good? Or we done heard everybody else. Does LastO matter? Let me tell y'all, he matters. That's why you got to listen to this album. Buy the motherfucker. Don't even bother trying to download it off of anywhere. I will sick the police on your ass on this one, because this is how dope it is. What y'all, if you could pick your 3 favorite tracks from the album, what would they be? Or no, I wouldn't even say that because I know that's unfair. Because I forget, isn't the Dream Wild or Travel Plans the single? Is one of them
440 is the first single. Travel Plans will be the second. Travel Plans will most likely be the second single. I did want to do a video for Dream Wild, but I just don't know how much, resources we're going to pour into promoting, you know what I mean, the album.
Right.
Because you got to look at, input versus return and so on and so forth. But 440 and most likely Travel Plans. I would say that I won't tell you 3, but I'll tell you this.